why is it up to me to save the world? I didn't ask for this. It's not fair. Sex Pistols, pretty vacant. He was in trouble, wasn't he, yesterday? Well, no, he wasn't. I say in trouble. Some people went on Twitter. Why is he doing that? He wore a MAGA hat, apparently, which you shouldn't do, unless you're trying to annoy people and you're an old punk. And Stephen Knight, who's done my Sirius show a few times, he tweeted, I think he's G spell checker, when he was Godly spell checker. He tweeted this article about John Lydon angers fans wearing MAGA hat, and he quote tweeted it saying, "Iconic punk does something punk," which is exactly right. Why are they surprised that he's trying to annoy people? He was in the Sex Pistols. This weird myth that punk was a left-wing revolution. Wasn't. It was rock and roll with safety pins. That any way they could find to annoy you, they would. Some of them wore swastikas, for God's sake. What do you think they liked the design? Or their dads were in the Third Reich? No, they wanted to annoy people. They wanted to cause a fuss. He's still doing it. I think that's so much better than just pop stars try and go with the flow and not annoy anyone. I don't want to offend anyone. I do remember I played Nevermind the Bollocks. That should be this theme tune, shouldn't it? To this load of bollocks. I played it for like 6 months. I used to run in from school. And I was in the sixth form at the time. And we had our own little sort of headquarters, the sixth form at my school. So everyone was, what would they have been? 16, 17, 18. And there was only about 25 who were doing A-levels in my school, both years. And we were allowed a record player to play at breaks and lunchtime. And the headmaster used to come in and eat with us lunchtime, just hang out, be cool. And our job was to try and put on a record that would offend him, right? That was our job. And it never worked. He'd be eating, we'd put on Sex Pistols, Clash, White Riot, just put anything. And he'd always go, oh, not my cup of tea. But he'd never rise to the bait. He knew what we were doing. And then I won. I brought in Derek and Clive, and I put that on, and he was eating on my table with about 4 others, right? And we were listening to it, and he was chatting, and then it started on that. I had the fucking job of retrieving lobsters from Jane Mansfield's arsehole, and the headmaster went, "Turn it off," like that. Oh God, it was a victory. So yeah, punk is not dead. Are you just hearing it through the... What's the fucking point? Seriously, what is the fucking point? What the fuck? I mean, why don't things just fucking work? I'd love this to happen on the news. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong story, for fuck's sake. You can hear me, can't you? Right, questions. Stony Scott, will you finally explain to foreigners how Bollocks is bad, but the dog's Bollocks is good? That's a good question. Yeah, Bollocks has 2 meanings, doesn't it? Load of bollocks, load of rubbish, load of absolute bollocks, right? Nonsense, right? But it comes from the word bollocks, meaning slang for... So, yeah. And the reason that dog's bollocks is good, I think it's a play on those little sayings like, oh, it's the cat's whiskers, like the best thing, like the most important, cat's whiskers, the bee's knees. I don't know why they're so good. But yeah, so dogs are proud of their bollocks, aren't they? Like a dog with the big balls and about there, it's the dog's bollocks. Like it's important to him. I don't know. You'll have to ask someone like that woman off Countdown. Right. Kermit, you wake up with the ability to shrink down to the size of an apple. Ooh, how big's the apple? Not big. Would you hop on the back of a dog or a cat when you needed a ride somewhere? So I'm like a little toy soldier. Right, okay. Which animal would you get in the most interesting way? Well, I think a dog does what it's told, doesn't it? It knows stuff. You can't. There's that saying: you can train a cat to do anything it wanted to do anyway. So a dog you could probably do, but then a dog couldn't run up a fence, could it? Or up a tree. If I wanted to run up a tree, the cat is my man. If I wanted to do a nice sensible walk to the shops, dog. Different animals for different needs. So great question. You notice that the thing's going the wrong way, the mic doesn't fucking work. I had emails coming in, dinging. Did I care? Did I fuck? I'm good in a crisis, you see? So some people would have crumbled. I don't give a shit. So yeah, a cat I think would be more fun. But if I needed if I had to get to like somewhere like a doctor's appointment, it's the dog. Whereas if I just wanted to go on an adventure or rob a place, if I wanted to rob a house, it's the cat. So get me into the tree, get me onto that windowsill, get me in. Better than with it. You've picked up many awards throughout your career. I have better. But have you ever picked up a really good stick and carried it all the way home without putting it down? I have. I do like to. If I see a good stick, I go to Jane. That's a good stick, and I walk with it, and I leave it at the edge of the heath because I don't want it in the house. Why would I want a stick in the house? But I sometimes think that's a shame. I can make that into something. Sometimes I have a hankering for whittling, and I never really do it. But I think that I'd put that on the when I'm 70 file. You know what I mean? Sitting in my castle, just whittling. Or making bow and arrow. I used to love making bows and arrows when I was a kid. My brother-in-law taught me. Find a bit and get the string and So yes, I have carried a stick. Not all the way home, but to the edge of the heath. So I love Bella's question. That's the thing, isn't it? It's from the perspective of a dog. Sammy. So two aliens knock on your door. Two aliens knock on your door, want you to come to their planet alone to do 2 nights of stand-up. I don't even do 2 nights in Leeds. No probing, just comedy. Can I trust them? They're there at. What's with the? I go. What's straight away? What's with the finger? What's that for? We would like you to come to play comedy. Right. Fucking point. Put the finger away, Greenie. No. In return, they will give you the key to save the world's ecosystem. Yay or nay? See, this is why is it up to me to save the world? I didn't ask for this. It's not fair. It's not fair. And now everyone's watching all the news. It gets around, doesn't it? London comedian Ricky Gervais has been asked by aliens to play a gig, and then it will save the world. And they all go that, and I go, no. Why me? No. Send fucking Bill Cosby. No, I'm not going. I don't trust them. From what I've seen, they get me there, then it's fingers straight up the arse. I go, come to the venue. And I go to the venue, I go, where are all the people? And I go, where are all the people? I go, what was in that beer? And then finger up the arse. Straight away, there I am like a fucking lollipop. Light years from home. Nah, fuck that. Cheeky bastards. Gunner. Is this... What's the point of this? Gunner. Dog. At what point is overthrowing a government ethical, considering all the violence a revolution usually entails? It's a great question from a dog, isn't it? Well, it depends what you mean by overthrowing a government, isn't it? That, you know, one man's, that famous thing, it was a terrorist and a freedom fighter. It depends what side you're on, isn't it? And, you know, we look back now where things have been overthrown because they thought at the time it was good, and vice versa. America was founded on revolution, really, throwing out the English. So, you know, and I bet the British thought they were cheeky bastards. So it depends whose side you're on. But I mean, I think there are some clear-cut cases where terrible, abusive dictatorships are killing their subjects, and you want to go, no, fuck that. Sometimes you gotta make a stand, haven't you? I'm answering a dog. I'm answering a dog about stuff I don't know about. No one does, really. No one knows. Oh, fucking. Susie, what is something you learned in the last week? What's the number one? The first movie that made you cry? Hold on, there's two questions here. What's going on, Susie? Last time you experienced nostalgia? What is going on? I've said edging my bets by answering three. Well, nostalgia, I've just played some Sex Pistols. That's nostalgia. First movie that made me cry, I reckon it was Jungle Book, when I thought Baloo was dead. Spoiler alert. Okay, what is something you learned in the last week? Oh, I think I might talk that we make up, as in terms of mass, we make up 30% of all land animals. Just one species. 4% are wild animals, and the other 66% are farm animals. That's amazing, isn't it? 96% of all animals is either us or shit we want to eat. We kill and torture about 2 billion farm animals a day. Mad. I learnt that. Didn't want to know it, but I know it now. So, not all knowledge is fun, is it? Joey. Yeah, Joey the cat. Oh, he's done two questions as well, sensible and stupid. Sensible. If three characters from any of your shows were to be made into spitting image puppets, who would you choose? I'd love to see Derek and Dougie. Yeah, that's a good one. Derek, Dougie, and Derek, Dougie, and Kev would be good, wouldn't it? Got to have Kev in there. That's a sensible question. Do you want to see a stupid question? Would you rather have no knees or no elbows? I think we've done this, haven't we? I remember I've answered so many fucking stupid questions from cats and dogs, but I'm pretty sure I chose no knees. I assume he means not just no kneecaps, but no knees, so your legs are just straight. So I just like walk along like a little robot, but I've got all my hands, you know what I mean? I can play guitar, piano, juggle, tennis. Tennis would be a bit awkward, wouldn't it? Running, but that's so much better than just straight arms, isn't it? Because I can't even fucking drink with straight arms. I'd have to do that and then just pour it. Nah, yeah, it's no knees. Gimme, you need a joint in your arm to get to your fucking mouth to eat. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-near for me. Daniel, the year is 2041. You are 80 years old, living in a castle. What have you called your castle? Chateau. but it's spelled SHATOH. That chateau. Oh, that. Jane. Jane. I'm gone again. So, did you miss this? Yeah, Ricky Chateau Gervais, Freya. When recording the album for Life on the Road, how long did it take to finish the whole thing? Oh, that's tricky because we didn't go in and do it like a real band. They book a studio, don't they, for like a month or two. We sort of did odd days. If I added them all up, so I went in and we sort of laid down a rough rhythm track, got the right tempos, and I did the guide vocal. Then did all the backing. Probably, how many were there? There was 20 tracks, wasn't there? It's a lot of tracks. We probably did like 6 or 7 tracks a day like that. So probably 3 days doing the basic thing. Then I went in to do vocals, and that was probably 2 or 3 whole days. So 6 or 7 days. So we're into sort of like the second week if we were doing it like that. I reckon if we did it in a run, it would be like 20 something days with a mix. I mean, I reckon even with the mix and all I reckon it was a maximum of 30 days, but probably like something like 25. And it was pure fun. There was no stopping and starting. There was no, is this going to make it on? In fact, we had a little bit of time. We did some alternative versions, but I'd say we could have done it, if we were really disciplined and we had all that time free. We could have done it in 3 weeks. So yeah, and I don't know. That's probably average for a real band that's just starting out. I'd have thought to do an album. It was nothing special, but it wasn't ridiculously on the cheap either. It was certainly it was a well-made album. Still available. Thanks for asking. No one's buying it now, are they? I mean, it is 3 years old. You don't often see bands every day 3 years after their albums come out saying it was still available. They probably brought out 2 more by then, but I haven't. So that's the only one you can buy. Rupert, here he is. Is the boy Rupert? Not a boy, he's a dog, but he's a. You see, the term "the dog's bollocks" doesn't apply to Rupert because he's had them off. He's got a lonely winkle halfway up his belly, not a trace of. Isn't bollocks a good word though? I found out I can use that on American chat shows as well because they don't think it's a swear word. They think it's just nonsense. They don't know I'm saying balls every time. We used to do a job of work after work. We used to have drinks, right? And all of us, Jane and all our mates. A good game was like euphemisms where you had to, that thing when you have to go round and go bang and you have to say a word of a genre. We did things like euphemisms for people, which I think I won. Schlong, dong, purple-headed womb ferret, one-eyed trouser snake, pump-action yogurt rifle, all that shit, right? And you couldn't hesitate. Then we do bodily functions, and I think Jane, like snot, shit, phlegm, right? And Jane won that. So it gets to you. If it gets to someone, they hesitate, they're out, and so it's down to 2 people. And Jane won that. And when Jane won, she went, and I still had Snurgloid in reserve. I won. We did euphemisms. There's loads of them. So many. It got to the point where, because there was so many people in, right? We were doing that for so long, euphemisms, minge, flange, all that, right? Some people were saying things, I go, that's not a real one. And someone said, none of them are real. So we allowed, if you could make one up that sounded real, you invent one, it was allowed. And our mate Tom won euphemisms for by saying Grimsby Harbour. So that didn't make it into the dictionary. Anyway, one more. Last question. Rupert. Mum used to have sports day at school, and believe it or not, she was good at discus and 100 metres. She was fast. Only thing she's fast at now is shoveling cake in. Rupert, that's your mum you're talking about. Did you do sports day, and what were you good at? Shot put, discus, javelin, or running? Only running. I liked the idea of javelin, but it was stupid because it had to make a mark. That annoyed me. Discus, I never got on with. Shot put, ridiculous. I was too puny. You need to be big. But I was good at running, only sprints. And I was, I think I was like that annoying third or fourth fastest. So nothing to brag about. Nothing at all to brag about, in fact. I was okay at everything. The only thing I excelled at, and that was only in my school, was tennis. I think that's because no one really played it or cared much. I was good at martial arts. I did judo and I loved all that. Kempo, karate, jiu-jitsu. Yeah, but that was later. So yeah, I wanted to be good at football. Hated rugby. Terrified. Wanted to be good at cricket. Terrified to bat. Got quite good at bowling. Just stayed away from the bat. Just. The idea in our school was to maim the batsman. So that put me off. Thanks for following. Follow me on Instagram as well, because I might do these over there. Different, Imagine if I went over to Instagram and it's exactly the same. How could that even be possible? But you know why I do it, don't you? I do it for you guys. You. No. You. The awards. No. You. Thanks very much. Have a great week. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.